On a warm day in late September, about 300 Northwestern students, mostly first-year students, hopped onto school buses.
Thank you all for being able to engage in Chicago today.
Their destinations were different, but all in the city of Chicago.
This area is totally new. In the past, it was not really part of Chinatown. So Chinatown is becoming bigger and bigger.
This group went to study heritage in Chinatown.
We have the work of Jaime Carrero. Jaime Carrero is an 81-year-old Puerto Rican artist.
This group went to do the same in a Puerto Rican neighborhood, Humboldt Park. The concept was to go places that are new and different.
I don't want to become super isolated in the Evanston campus. I want to branch out into the Chicago area as soon as I can.
That idea of branching out was reinforced after all the students read a book by this man. Alex Kotlowitz is an award-winning author and senior lecturer at Northwestern. His works include There Are No Children Here and The Other Side of the River, nonfiction that touches on poverty, racial division, and above all, the stories of individual people.
I go places and I see people who are really struggling, just trying to sort of stay erect in this world that's slumping around them. And there's something actually inspiring. I mean, I sometimes think to myself, I don't know that I could manage that kind of strength that I see in others.
Kotlowitz sought to capture that strength in his 2004 book, Never a City So Real, a series of vignettes that define the diversity and depth of Chicago. For Kotlowitz, who years ago moved from his native New York to Chicago, the book was a labor of love.
And I came to just love this city. It is a place of, as I write about in the book, a place of messy vitalities. I mean, it's just filled with all these internal contradictions. And I do think, as a storyteller, I couldn't have landed in a better place.
Never a City So Real, a truthful, sometimes gritty, and often inspirational series of stories, was chosen to be this year's book. And that gets us back to the bus trip.
Northwestern and the city of Chicago are wedded at the hip.
Coordinators from Northwestern's Center for Civic Engagement felt a natural extension of the book would be to organize a bus tour, helping freshmen and other students explore parts of Chicago rich in culture and history.
Alex's great gift in the book and in other work that he's done is to allow people to understand and empathize with the lives of people that are very different from them.
So, during the summer, thousands of copies of the book were sent to incoming students, in part so those who took the tour would be connected to Kotlowitz's ideas.
Our goal was to find 10 or so different themes that would be of interest to the students, where the experience of connecting with the people that live in those communities would open up a better understanding of what their lives were like. And that, of course, is what Alex is trying to do in the book.
On one bus, sociology professor Mary Patillo took a group to Hyde Park, which included a drive by President Obama's Chicago home.
And there is the Secret Service vehicle.
The tour also looked at how African-American neighborhoods on the city's south side have struggled, thrived, and changed over time.
And that has been one of the biggest challenges, how to revitalize a neighborhood without having the people who have been there for so many years having to move out.
Later, this group went to an art education center called the Little Black Pearl.
So that again is what Little Black Pearl is all about. We're trying to give our youth a voice, a way to show and express themselves in a very positive light.
For some, the tour made the connection to the book palpable.
The book is called Never a City So Real, so I wanted to see those real places that were in the book. I wanted to see the real part of Chicago, because I've been to Chicago before, and I've seen Michigan Avenue, and I've seen the Water Tower, but I don't think have gotten a chance to see those real places, so that was my curiosity that led me to go on the tour.
When we come back, we'll see how One Book, One Northwestern brought Chicago to campus. Author Alex Kotlowitz's book of Chicago stories, called Never a City So Real, served as the starting point for bus tours of the city as part of the One Book, One Northwestern program.
Okay, I'll upload it right now.
I think for me what's really exciting about it, and on one level, is that they're using the book to kind of do something really tangible. I love this idea that they took these kids to all these different neighborhoods in the city, spent a day, talking to people, visiting places, and my understanding is going to continue through the year.
On a different tour, one group headed to Lakeview, the center of Chicago's gay community. Irina Zhang is from Cincinnati and wanted to know more.
Well, in Cincinnati, there aren't really many LGBT neighborhoods, so I thought it'd be nice to come over here and explore this different aspect of Chicago that I wouldn't normally have been able to in my hometown.
This neighborhood was the first officially gay identified neighborhood in the United States. The mayor sort of issued a proclamation that this was considered the boys' town or a gay neighborhood of Chicago.
Brian Mustansky, professor of medical social sciences who lives in Lakeview, thinks it's great the One Book program is getting freshmen on the tour.
I think it's a great opportunity for them right from their freshman year to come into the city and get to see, to sort of get exposed to the different types of neighborhoods that are here, the different types of people that live in Chicago, and, sort of engage in the city that they live in.
That, in a nutshell, is Kotlowitz's point. As part of the One Book program, the author encouraged students to do more than just go off campus, but to extend an ear to the lives and stories of others.
It's also, I think, important to recognize that listening is not always a passive exercise. It's active.
Alex Kotlowitz is not just talking about storytelling.
Violence Interrupters had one goal in mind: to save a life. And we need people to step up to this table and go over and beyond.
He's doing it. His recent documentary, The Interrupters, follows a group of Chicago organizers dedicated to stopping gang violence. That's being shown on campus as part of the One Book program. And there's more.
Together, I think Northwestern can help you build the kind of city that will make the best of our past and develop a terrific future for the city. So please welcome Rahm Emanuel.
Chicago's top politician got involved too. Mayor Rahm Emanuel came to Northwestern to underscore some of the key ideas of Never a City So Real and urged students to make Chicago part of their lives.
I want all of you, when you graduate, haul off, get on the Davis L stop and come down to the city of Chicago and call it home. I'll win if you call Chicago home.
In the end, after all the presentations, bus tours, and book signings,
Sure, my pleasure. Oh, thanks. Oh, thanks.
Alex Kotlowitz hopes his work will have a positive message, that his students and readers will see the value in understanding the lives of others.
And in the end, find empathy. I don't mean sympathy, I don't mean feeling sorry for people, but just really sort of trying to understand what it is to be a new immigrant, or what it is to be a young black kid growing up on the west side of Chicago, or a Latino in Little Village. To sort of understand lives that are completely different from their own. And I can't think of anything more important than that.